Hey everyone, welcome to another thrilling episode. Craig keeps trying and finally drags the robot to the floor. What a wild journey. However, Chris secures himself with a safety buckle to avoid being swept away by the waves while daydreaming. Now it's up to Craig, the brainiac firefighter. At this point, Chris has been deprived of oxygen for 16 minutes and 32 seconds, and the engineer finally reboots the system. The dynamic positioning system has been restored online, and the captain, in a hurry, immediately orders a return to the pipeline management, just as if he were in the midst of reloading a game. David dived down to save Chris. Even though this decision is a bit crazy, no one wants to argue. David plunges back into the water without hesitation. He quickly swims to Chris' location and carefully unbuckles the safety harness. It's like playing a game of Jenga. He's so heavy. David gasps, the captain wobbling like on a roller coaster, making rescue incredibly tough. Every step seems to be a grueling contest against gravity and exhaustion. You're truly pushing yourself to the limit, buddy. Let's head to the beach. When the bell rings, keep your hands steady, no slacking. Got it. David finally succeeds after all his hard work. They pulled Chris into the mid-compartment, oxygen-free for 27:59, time waits for no one. Take his helmet off, quick. David and Duncan struggled to rescue him, bad weather today, speed is key. They began performing CPR on Chris as time ticked away, and Chris still wasn't giving any signs of life. This is absolutely a nightmare. What has happened to Chris to make him look so terrible? Chris was breathing but remained completely unresponsive. Half an hour without oxygen, everyone understands the seriousness. Chris' body may survive, but his brain might feel like a rubber band. Duncan, are you able to hear me? Hey, buddy, give me a little something. How are you doing? Come on, buddy. Did you hear that? David and Duncan exchanged a meaningful glance, taking a deep breath in unison. They brought Chris' body back, but his spirit might have flown off to outer space. Tears welled up in David's eyes as he tried to awaken Chris, still no response, and sadness came like a tidal wave. I'm fine. Chris, and you? We made it. Duncan shouted as if he won the lottery. David and Duncan looked in disbelief at the suddenly awakened Chris, and that news spread to the control center, everyone cheering like it was New Year's Day. The control room erupted in cheers upon receiving the news. Chris survived nearly 40 minutes in an oxygen-less environment. And guess what? He didn't even suffer head trauma, which is as surprising as not seeing a ghost now. That's unheard of. I'm still experiencing a bit of a headache. Are you doing alright? We're all doing much better now. Just, I'm a bit bummed about Mary. I feel like I've let him down badly. I swore to him that I would be alright. But honestly speaking, I just broke down in tears helplessly. I was merely floating along, as though everything was perfectly alright, akin to being in a dreamlike state. Actually, it's pretty decent, giving you a chance to take a break. Thank you, genuinely thank you. Some things you can only truly convey clearly and explain in full when you're face to face. Only hugs and touches can bring true comfort. 2 days later, Chris drove back to their new home, Seymour waiting for him at the door. A deep emotion surged in him as Morg's gaze seemed to validate something, approaching to ask if he was okay. His tone was tinged with worry. Chris' voice sounded unusually low as he briefly explained what happened underwater. Since the diver was trapped and needed urgent rescue, Morg frowned, probing if the person was okay. Chris took a deep breath and told him with a slow and heavy tone that things had once been critical. But in the end, that person was saved. Morg gazed at him, reading more unspoken words in his eyes, trembling slightly as he asked, "Is it you?" Chris paused for a moment, nodded gently, and Morg's eyes instantly welled with tears. Tears blurred his vision as Chris gently reached to comfort him, whispering, "I'll always be beside you." "I express my love for you, Chris." "I love you too." He held Chris tightly, and the whole story came to an end. On the edge of life and death, what truly determines the possibility of rebirth? Is it undiscovered physiological mechanisms, or the spiritual strength and longing of love that transcends the physical? This question lingers in discussions during storms in the North Sea and the Taros sailing. For those who love deeply, every summer explores this question, not just the oceans but their heart's depths. If you had just one breath left, what would you say to love? Chris has shown the final breath marks the start of a new life, not the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe. More amazing stories await you.